Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Read Ethos, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called Bulwark, written by Lmyer. The year is 2352. Humanity is on the brink of total collapse. Their fleets shattered, their armies turned to glass, and the whole star systems burn in the fires of war. The Tumat Empire have turned their attention to their fledgling alliance, intending to shatter it before it can grow to rival their might. As the grand armadas of gleaming behemoths sweep through the human fleets, holding what ground they can find, their allies rush to Earth in a desperate attempt to rally to their aid and protect what civilian flotillas they can find. The Empire, anticipating this, has sent their mightiest of ships and most skilled admiral, First Warsmith Belan, to see to its destruction. What follows is the account of Captain Jean Bulwark McMahon of the SAS Earthrising, a veteran of what would become known as the Grand Defense. Okay, we're going to start filming here in a second. I turned and straightened myself in the chair before making eye contact with the small, frail man sat across from me. You still want to go through with this? Bloody right I do. There aren't many of us left, you know. Someone's got to tell the tale. The old man gave a toothy smile as he stared back at me with his pale blue eyes. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. So why don't you tell us about who you are? Starting with their name was always the quickest way to get them talking. My name is Jean McMahon, and I am captain of the battleship SAS Earthrising. It was a quick and practiced response. Captain, do you mind telling me what role you did play in the war? Everyone knew the answer, but I felt it needed to be asked anyways. Well, our ship was one of the only human ships that managed to escape and get back to Earth during the initial onslaught. I was there when the Tumat's big-ass armada showed up, and when I mean big, I damn near shat myself when I saw it drop out of FTL at the edge of Seoul. He shook his head and frowned before continuing. I was tasked with the defense of Earth, being the ranking officer, and would like to add, for the record, that battle was the first time I was ever a captain of a starship, let alone a flagship of the whole damn fleet. Would you be willing to go over the battle with us? I'm sure everyone would love to hear a first-hand account of what happened there. We've all seen the vids, but why don't you just tell us what really happened? I gave a quick glance to my producer as he gave me a curt nod to continue. All right, I guess I'll start from the point we saw the Armada jump in. Like I said before, it was a massive, and I honestly didn't think that we had a chance at all. So I begin preparations for Earth to be evacuated. There was no way in hell that we were going to win this fight. I thought, so better to get as many people out as I could, while me and the boys threw ourselves at them with everything we had. His arms were closed across his chest now, and I could see his whole demeanor turn hard and cold as all other veterans. With that decided, the next thing I did was gather up what ships I had. It wasn't much, a handful of human cruisers and frigates, a dozen or so Teleran slip destroyers, Avon carrier task force, and a swarm of the Mubalan corvettes with a drone ship attached. In total, we had maybe 40 or 50 ships as we formed up to meet the Tumat between Mars and Earth. I didn't have much of a plan, and only relayed to the other ships that we had to delay them as long as we could. It was a suicide mission, so I gave an option to every captain in the fleet that they could cut loose and leave. To my surprise, no one did. Not even our allies. I could see the tears begin to flow down his cheeks. Take your time, we have all day. We can take a break whenever you want. I offered him a Kleenex and waited as he recomposed himself. I could still hear the voices when they turned down that offer. Damn stubborn bunch they were. Goddamn good people. A fresh set of tears and some Kleenex later, he nodded, indicating to continue. How long did it take the Tumat to reach your line? I noticed much of the crew was fixated on the man sitting in front of me. Hell, David wasn't even looking into his camera anymore. Not long at all. I don't even remember the exact number, but it was a lot quicker than I was guessing. I was a little surprised at how quickly the dreadnoughts moved. Regardless of their speed, the battle was joined in short order, and it was immediately apparent that we were going to get beat to hell. To my surprise, and probably theirs, we were putting up a hell of a fight. With probably more luck than skill, we managed to disable one of their dreadnoughts in the first few salvos. Jean let out a hearty laugh. I'm sure that Dan Balan was furious, but... Anyways, after those first few minutes, everything turned into a melee, as we tried everything that we could to keep them away from Earth. The Vryn carrier, having lost its drone connection, rammed another dreadnought and split it in two. The sacrifice brought us down to 23 barely functional ships. We were brought down to 18 ships after 2 of our own cruisers overloaded their cores to take a group of their destroyers and a few frigates with them. Shortly after that, and 3 more losses later, my comms officer gave me the craziest report. He called out to me that pirate ships were inbound. He was grinning a toothy smile again. Pirate ships? I thought it was strictly military vessels that were a part of the engagement. Now this was something I'd never heard before. You heard me. Pirate ships. You know, the scourge of the trade lanes, bandits of the belts, and scoundrels of the stars. Apparently they caught wind of what was going on and came streaming out of nowhere. Black Squids, Red Fists, the Critters, amongst other groups, were all broadcasting to us that they were on their way and to hold out just a little bit longer. Jean was in full-on belly laugh at this point. This wasn't even the last of the crazy reports I received. After the pirates started streaming in to swarm the Tumat, I got another report. Want to take a guess as to what it was? I was a little taken aback by the sudden question. Then I barely stammered out, I have no idea. My comms officer reported they just picked up a whole massive load of civilian transponder signals on direct course for our little battle. They were mining vessels, starliners, freight haulers, you name it, and it was there. Hundreds of them began to slip in all around the battle. Many weren't even armed, but they were coming in hot. Each and every one of them were aimed directly at the behemoths of our ragtag fleet. We're just barely holding back. He paused to wipe away a fresh set of tears and let out a long sigh, returning to a hard demeanor. In the end, we won, but I want to add at the start of that battle, we had roughly 50 starships, battered and bruised. We ended that battle with 101. End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.